Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Relationship Show. Going live, another episode, just kicking everything up. So I will be triggering it, going live in just a little bit. So let me just set the settings before actually kicking the show off. So I want everybody to be okay and to be able to look at, let me set the audience settings while everybody tunes in. There we go. Hopefully everybody, welcome to the Art of Relationship Show. It's been a rush getting started. So hopefully everybody, while viewers are kicking up, we're going to kick on talking about, excuse me, are you emotionally selfish? And like a lot of people look at, oh, I'm not emotionally selfish. I'm compassionate. I'm whatever. I'm going to give you some examples and some tips about maybe you are being emotionally selfish, okay? And I'm going to get into this. I'm going to let people join in the live show and start before I get into that. And we'll be, hey, people joining in on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And I'm going to kick off the show after the viewers start kicking in and the intro that is coming up right now. Don't go anywhere. This is the Art of Relationship Show. Hold on. I know TikTok, I got to put that on there. I know TikTok, you cannot see the video, the intro video I have on there. You can just hear the music. So anyways, this is the Art of Relationship Show, people. I am your host, Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor, LPC here in Michigan, here in Detroit, and hopefully everybody's doing okay. Woohoo! I will have 23 years experience helping couples, marriage, sex counseling. That's what I specialize in, those three things. In August, it'll be 23 years, okay? And I also have a lot of trauma, a lot of grief experience. I used to work with, I've always done couples forever and ever. I also used to, for years, work with severe trauma in kids and teens, rape survivors, you name it, sexual abuse, all those situations. I no longer work with kids. It's been years for a while. Man, it actually has been years. So I'm your host to let you know a little bit of background about myself. I'm legit. I'm not the flyby. You know, everyone puts, oh, I'm a love coach. I'm a marriage coach out there. And they have no training, no professional training, that type of situation. So I will do the best I can to help you with your marriage challenges, dating issues, maybe intimacy issues, relationship challenges. Maybe you're entering a relationship, in a relationship, living together, not married. To me, it doesn't matter. Anything I can do to help you out to be more healthier, more happy in those situations. And if you're single and you want to get in the dating realm out there and you want to find the love of your life, I will do my best to help you out as well. So, as always, you can join in down below. Throw your questions out there, okay, in the live chat. Throw your questions. I'll do the best I can to answer them. Kathy, Kat, Jeffers, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And like I said, you throw your question out there. It'll be anonymous. I'm not going to read your name in the chat, whatever, unless people give me permission to do so, okay? I respect people's privacy, being anonymous, that type of situation. However, this does not replace the actual professional counseling, you know, marriage counseling, couples counseling that I do in my office, because I can't guarantee privacy, okay? The only thing I can do is try to do my best to ensure that I respect you, your privacy out there as well. Other than that, with the social media realm, I can't guarantee privacy at all. So I'm honest, I'm legit about that. Please share this episode on your timeline, on your page, wherever you're viewing it, And I want to get as many people involved as possible. One thing, it's more active, more fun, and I can help more people. So maybe I'm selfish. Talking about being emotionally selfish is the topic. And again, your questions do not have to relate to today's topic, okay? And so being emotionally selfish, I'm going to ask you, are you emotionally selfish, right? And this comes to, everyone brings up man versus women, and I get away from gender aspects as well, or gender stereotypes. There are some, but when it comes to being emotionally selfish, how many people look in the mirror, am I emotionally selfish? Is it all about what I feel, or is it about what my partner feels or wants, or how they want to be respected? And I run into this probably every day in my office, to be honest with you. One person will bring up, hey, I feel not respected. Oh, yeah, I don't feel respect. And it triggers something in the other person and their partner, okay? That they feel like what I feel now, I feel upset. I don't feel loved. I don't feel respected. I don't feel desired. Now it turns into how my partner feels. And you're like, it doesn't matter how I feel, because that's going to turn into, and it's going to trigger, I know I hate that word too, it's going to trigger my partner's feelings. So what I feel doesn't matter. What my wishes are doesn't matter, because it's all about what my partner wants. And that's what I'm talking about being emotionally selfish, right? Now, another part of being emotionally selfish is when I feel a certain way, and I tell people, you can go through all my episodes, and I talk about this often. The best way to look at that is on YouTube. Probably the easiest way to find all my episodes on YouTube under at LoveGuruGreg. My website as well, to theartofrelationships.org. Check that out. But what happens is that, I can say, hey, I don't feel loved by you. And then my partner is, oh my God, I can't believe that. And they flip out, they yell, they scream, and they throw shit. Okay? They're emotionally explosive. We'll say that. And now they're trying to justify, well, I did this because you hurt my feelings. I did this because you made me mad. What? That doesn't justify our actions. I say this on a lot of episodes, right? So part of being emotionally selfish is also about, I got a right to feel what I feel, which is true. However, I get to treat you however way I want to because of how I'm feeling. No. That's not accurate. So there's a lot of people out there that will justify, they'll condone their reactions, their, how they behave, words they use based on if we are upset, pissed off, hurt. We have a right to feel those things. We don't have a right to go berserk or go ballistic on our partner. We might want to, right? And let's face it, I'm talking about extreme measures, right? We're going to react. We found out our partner just cheated on us. We're going to flip shit. We're going to be, angry. We're going to be crushed. We're going to be hurt. Those are, I get that. That still does not give us a right to do those things, but we can understand them. Now, if you're talking and say, hey, I felt like you were being rude to me. I felt like you were being disrespected. And our partners start, oh my God, you're mean. You're an ass. I can't believe you said that. You're rude. And they start throwing stuff and maybe start hitting you and kicking you. Well, I had a right. You hurt my feelings. No, not at all. That's part of being emotionally selfish. And that's part of, what? You are responsible for your own reactivity. You are responsible for your reactions of your feelings. Number one, you have a right to feel. We all have a right to feel those things. I just said that, right? We have a right to feel mad, angry, hurt, devastated, shattered. But we don't have a right to react in a certain way. Yes, we can act upset. We get that. I get that. A lot of people might look at, what? I have no right. I got to stay calm, cool, collected all the time. No. There's a difference between being upset, maybe crying, maybe yelling a little bit, but we don't go to the other extreme of stabbing each other, hitting each other, calling each other names, ripping apart each other. And then we come back and justify our actions because you made me mad, you pissed me off, you hurt my feelings. That is part of being emotionally selfish, okay? And that's where I want people to be able to look in the mirror and understand about talking about emotional intelligence, right? And being able, how do we monitor our feelings, our emotions, right? And I tell people the difference between feelings and emotions, right? I tell people our feelings are, being hurt, being mad, being angry, being, devastated. Those are feelings, right? We have a right to feel. And the emotions are the expression of those feelings. And when I sort of put that in simple terms when I taught college classes as well, grad school classes, whatever, on relationship counseling, sex counseling, grief and stuff, trauma as well. And I tell people, that would be the way to differentiate, if you will, the difference between feelings and emotions. Emotions are the expression of those feelings. Make sense? So the emotions would be, the reaction or the expression of feelings would be crying, throwing stuff, kicking, throwing a temper tantrum, breaking stuff, throwing, hitting, punching. Those are, the emotions are the expression of those feelings, if that makes sense, okay? So, and I look at, again, being emotionally selfish, it's about understanding, hey, you know what, this is about my person, what they feel. How can I stay and create a safe place for them to do that? I might not like what they say. I might be hurt by what they say, but this is about them. This is about showing you, hey, you don't feel love. What can I do to show you I do love you? You don't feel desired. What can I do to show you I do desire you, right? And we get tired. We all get tired, exhausted. That doesn't mean we don't desire you. But if it happens, it's going on for months and months and you don't act on it, that's an issue, right? So that's where I tell people, and I want people to be able to look at and understand, we have a right to feel, but are we able to hold space for our partner? And it's about what they feel in that moment. And it doesn't turn into, well, I'm hurt by that, and I'm going to pout like a toddler. I'm going to pout like, a child. That's part of being emotionally selfish and not being able to hold space for our partner, okay? That doesn't create a safe place for our partner, and that is emotionally selfish, like I'm talking about now. So, please throw your questions down below, people. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I know your time is valuable. I'm flattered. I appreciate it. So throw your questions down below, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. Dr. Carey, I don't know if that's Jim Carey or who it is, but on Instagram, I appreciate you tuning in. And again, looking at, even asking yourself, is it all about me? How my partner feels, and then it turns into all about me. Some people will never admit it, right? Because maybe ego, maybe pride, maybe because of the true essence of being emotionally selfish. You know what? It's all about how I feel, and forget about how your partner feels. Now, ask your partner, do you feel that, it matters to me how you feel? Does it matter to you? Does it matter to me? Do you feel that way? Do you feel heard? Are you able to talk about how you feel and feel safe about it? Ask that question, because a lot of people, they're going to lie. They're going to, oh, yeah, I do, when they really don't. So as people know, couples, clients that know in my office, I'm not about lying, manipulating. I'm about being open and honest, no matter if it hurts your feelings, pisses you off, creates insecurities. Again, that is not about your intent. It's about, hey, I'm going to be honest, I don't feel respected by you right now. And then it turns into, oh, yeah, you're rude. I can't believe you said that. And you wonder why I said that. Now, I can't feel safe telling you anything about how I feel, because it turns into about how it makes you feel. You get me? And that's where a lot of people will, they don't feel safe talking about anything and everything. And that's why I tell people about being open and honest, to create that safe place. Can you talk about anything and everything in your relationship, even if it hurts your feelings? Again, not your intent, hopefully not your partner's intent, or does it, turn into the tit for tat battle? It turns into, what you just said, how it affects me, and now you don't feel safe talking about each other. Now, when you have two people that are emotionally selfish, it's all about them, they battle and start yelling and screaming who's going to be heard more, right? I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, I'm feeling that way, I'm feeling that way. And my job is trying to calm that down, to redirect that, and to get them to have patience, to slow that exhale, and to be able to have them go one at a time. Hey, you know what you feel matters. What's going on? What can I do to make you, feel safe and open? Hey, now it's the other one's time. Hey, what can I do to make you feel more loved, more respected? What can I do to make you feel more heard? What can I do to create a safer place for you to be able to talk to me about how you feel and it matters? Instead of, man, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, or, oh yeah, you don't love me, you don't care about me. Huh? What? No, again, it's being able to hold space for each other and becoming more compassionate, using more empathy, and questions, going back to my questions of care and concern and curiosity. Hey, you know what? When was the last time you said that? Hey, what can I do? What can I do with the situation? What can I do to make you feel better? What can I do so you feel more loved, feel more respected, feel more desired? And it's not about people faking it, lying about it. It's not about people, just going through the motions. I tell people all the time, I'm not about that, okay? I'm not about that at all. So please, throw your questions down below, people. CS, what's happening? I appreciate everybody tuning in. But when it comes to, feel free, ask your questions, anything related to marriage challenges, relationship challenges, dating issues, intimacy issues, anything I can do to help you out. And again, you can check out my website. I hate selling. I'm not a salesperson, but I do have my self-help courses, $30 off. I think they're $47 each. That's it. A lot of videos, a lot of exercises, a lot of tips going on, healing after an affair, reigniting your relationship. And I also have a premarital course on there too. So check them out, theartofrelationships.org, and follow me, like me at LoveGuruGreg, all over the place, social media, okay? So I look at, what emotional selfishness, and a lot of people don't use that term. I'm more direct. Are you selfish? And does that mean some people are selfish and they might not intend to be, but emotionally, they're emotionally reactive. They're highly emotionally reactive. Anything that's upsetting, anything that comes across as them being attacked, being challenged, being held accountable, they react in a way that is very, maybe unrealistic for the situation, right? Now, I said that earlier. When you find out your partner just cheated on you, you're going to blow shit. Let's be real. I'm honest, right? You're going to be upset, yell, scream. It's going to happen. But I'm talking about, hearing and listening to your partner. Do you start getting mad and throwing stuff? Does it turn into all about you and you bash your partner? I can't believe, and you start name calling. You start bringing up stuff from the past, and it flips around and turns into all about what you feel, what your partner feels, and how it makes you feel, okay? So, and those are the situations where I want people to look at and ask themselves, am I being emotionally selfish? A lot of people might not even ask themselves that because they'll just, oh, no, I'm not emotionally selfish. I want you to ask your partner, your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. I want you, lover, whatever you want to call each other. I want you to be able to ask yourself, are you emotionally selfish? Or, and they're going to sit back, you're going to ask this, and they're going to sit back and their reaction right away, oh no, not at all. But in their mind, they're thinking what I really want to say is yes, but I don't dare it because they're going to flip out. Tell them you want them to be honest. You want them to be open. You want to be able to evolve and grow and work on it. We're not talking about being perfect. We're not perfect. We're going to lose our shit once in a while. I'm honest, okay? But do we own it? Do we apologize? Do we show remorse? You know what? I'm sorry. I was upset. You know, it hurt my feelings. It might have ticked me off, but I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you this name. I shouldn't have hit you. I shouldn't have done this. No, you shouldn't have, right? Not at all. Like I said, how we react to stuff, that's on us. And a lot of people will come, well, I was traumatized for a long time. Hey, Sharon, hey, what's happening? I was traumatized, so that gives me a right to react however I want. No, it doesn't. And I told you at the very beginning, every episode, I have a lot of trauma, a lot of grief experience as well. I get heartbreak. I get the worst of the worst. But that doesn't mean you get to treat others poorly because of your trauma and you use your reactivity as an excuse and you condone your reactions. No, that doesn't work. And when people try to hold you accountable, oh, you don't care, you don't love me, or you justify, oh, I was traumatized, so that's why I act this way. Oh, you don't care, I was traumatized. No, that means you just don't get to act a certain way and go berserk. Maybe you need help with that. I understand that. I understand you don't like that. But with your reactivity, your emotional reactivity, emotional selfishness, sorry, tripping over my tongue, selfishness, maybe you need to talk to a counselor. You need to talk to somebody about ways to deal that with cope. Hey, can we, you know what, before we react, can we just slow our exhale? And a lot of people, they got all this pent up anxiety. I get that. I get that. I'm very compassionate and have a lot of empathy for people. Absolutely. Trauma experience, whatever. However, that does not condone how we react and how we treat others. And then we, or people, think we need to be okay or we should be okay that you acted a certain way because you were traumatized as a kid. Hell no. I get that. A lot of empathy, a lot of freaking sympathy, compassion for that. That doesn't give you a right to treat somebody else that way. You get me? But there's a lot of people, I'm reactive. That's how I am because I have a lot of trauma. I've been traumatized. So they condone it and they excuse their reactivity based on past stuff. I get that. I understand that. And they don't apologize. They don't show remorse. They justify their reactivity, their emotional selfishness based on past experience. I have this, and I have people, like I said, I people that might have, you know, BPD, borderline personality disorder, which is not easy to live with or deal with, I'm honest, or bipolar disorder, or they have severe depression, right? Well, I have depression, that's why I acted this way. No, I understand you have depression, but that doesn't give you a right to do this. You might have challenges with bipolar 1 disorder. That doesn't mean you get to act this way. And I tell clients this, and I'm here for you. What can I do to help you? Absolutely. But I'm not going to allow people and clients and people in general to justify and condone their behaviors. Not at all. I'm all about holding people accountable, and some people don't like that. Some people, you know, I can be direct, but I'm going to hold space for you and still, hey, I get you. I get why you were hurt. I get it hurts like hell hearing this. However, that doesn't give you a right to disrespect me, your partner, disrespect other people, or even disrespect yourself, okay? So that's where I'm going back to about emotional selfishness and holding space and creating a safe place for your partner and everything else, okay? So, hey, everybody on Instagram, I appreciate you tuning in. And please tell me, number one, has your partner ever used the words, you know what, I talk about how I feel, and it's all about how you feel. You know what I'm feeling, and then all of a sudden it turns in and flips the script. It turns into automatically about how you feel. Those are words or keywords that people might use that you need to stop and look at. You know what? Am I being too emotionally reactive? Am I being emotionally selfish in the situation that it turns into all about me? And that's why I talk about emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, and what can we do to self-soothe so we can sort of control that a little bit. Hey, Mel, what's happening? What's going on? King Jam, hey, I appreciate you tuning in, man. John, everybody tuning in. So throw your questions out there. How many experience this very thing where maybe I want you to throw yourself under the bus. I want you to look in the mirror. How many people are challenged with the emotional overreactivity and have a hard time with emotional regulation or being emotionally selfish, as I call it? Or how many people, as I'm trying to adjust TikTok the camera, there we are, so not sideways, where how many people are living with a partner, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that are dealing with that. And even with kids and children, we expect a 2-year-old to throw a temper tantrum, right? Not that we like it, not that it's allowed. We expect it. We don't expect that from an adult, right? Let's be honest. And, you told me this and it hurt my feelings. Well, what? So I don't have a right to say I felt disrespected. I felt like you were being rude. And all of a sudden you flip shit and go berserk. And I'm supposed to be okay with that because now... No, that's emotional reactivity. That's being emotional selfish. That's what I mean. It's all about how you feel and about your partner. And I want to see people, even a show of hands in the chats. How many people have experienced this with the partner? Or let's be honest, how many people, they endure this because that's how you react. And then you justify instead of apologizing. Like I said, we're human. I'm not talking about being perfect. You know what? I got mad. I shouldn't have acted this way. I apologize. I'll make sure it don't happen again. That's part of owning up to your emotional reactivity, okay? Overreactivity, I should say, with the given situation, okay? One person, I could leave maybe a glass or a cup in the sink, and they flip out. They throw, I can't believe you left this. And they break it and throw the glass. Here you go. Now, if they asked you, please take care of this, and it's been 10 times, 20 times, they're going to get more upset. That still doesn't give them the right to, throw shit, break stuff. Not at all. Okay. Stephanie, hey, hello there. Lady Gaga? Gaga what? Instead of Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Ricardo, what's happening? Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody tuning and joining. So that's where I want you. Show a list of hands. How many people have been in that situation where your partner, past, maybe current, have been emotionally overreactive? They flip stuff. They've been emotionally selfish, and it turns into all about them. And then how you feel, what you think, doesn't matter because it makes them explode, and they'll tell you, you made me mad. You shouldn't have told me I was being rude. Huh? You shouldn't have told me I was being disrespectful. That's mean. That's rude. Huh? So now I don't have a right to tell you how I feel? That's being emotionally selfish. And it tells your partner it's all about you, that you don't care how they feel. So think about this. When was the last time are you able to have a heart-to-heart? And it's easy when it's other people. I talked to a couple that I saw this morning. It's easy when it's about other people. You had a bad day at work, a bad boss, coworker that ticked you off. They can relate, show compassion, right? Oh, my God, I'm sorry you had a bad day. I'm sorry work sucked for you today. Now, but if it's about you, hey, you flip out. You can't handle that when they hold you accountable. when they call you out on stuff. And I'm talking in a respectful way. Like I said, hey, I thought you were being rude. Hey, you hurt my feelings. I felt hey, you disrespected me, right? And now you flip stuff. Wait a minute, you're compassionate, able when it had nothing to do with you, but when it's about you and being held accountable and how how you impact your partner, now you can't handle that. Now you yell, scream, call names, bring up stuff from 10 years ago that's been supposedly healed, and you start making your partner feel like crap. You bash them, call them names, just simply because they said, hey, I don't feel respected by you. And then you flip out. That is being emotionally selfish. And now, if there are, I'm very compassionate, right? If there is, mental health challenges going on, like I said, depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar issues, as examples, okay? Again, I understand the challenges, very much so, right? I'm in the field. But again, you need to get help with that to be able to better, self-soothe. So you're not overly reactive. So you're able to have the confidence enough to be able to look at, hey, you know what can I do to make you feel? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you. Try to make sure it don't happen again. Or, man, I don't want you to feel disrespected. That, I get you. I get how it upset you. That wasn't my intent. We can get to the intent after, but a lot of people will justify and condone how they act. I know I'm repeating myself often, okay? I get it. But it's important to understand, what do we do to self-soothe? What do? We can just slow our exhale. Hey, you know what? When was the last time you said, hey, I appreciate you telling me and being honest that you don't feel loved, that you don't feel respected by me? When was the last time you reacted that way instead of flipping out, yelling, screaming, calling your partner names, throwing stuff, running out of the room? You get me? And now your partner they're supposed to be okay with the way you overreacted, and now you're justifying your reactions, because of trauma, because of mental health issues, challenges. We understand them. I told you, I'm in the field. I have a lot of compassion. But that doesn't justify your behaviors whatsoever. Hey, Deborah, what's happening, okay? Where's your questions, people? Don't let me just talk about talk. I want to help people, but I'm looking at, now we look at if you do have a hard time with being overreactive and how you challenge everything, okay? I look at, what do you do, to self-soothe, emotionally regulate, to increase our emotional intelligence, to be able to get to a part where we're not, everyone talks about the old school hair triggered, right? That we react in, when things go sideways or things don't go as planned, people throw stuff, yell and scream, instead of, man, that sucks. Oh my God, what can I do to handle it? What do I do to fix it, to try to heal it, to reach for my partner instead of making it worse? And then we don't even apologize. We start justifying. It's your fault I acted this way. It's your fault you pissed me off. It's your fault that you were rude. I was rude because I told you I felt disrespected? How was I rude by that? That they flip it, all the bad stuff, they start bashing, ripping into their partner for being open and honest, not being disrespectful to them, but being open and honest how they feel, and people have a hard time handling it. That's what I call emotionally being selfish, and it's all about you and how people feel and how it impacts you, and it flips you out, and it turns into, now it's all about how you feel. And what are we doing? I look at what I can do to help with that. What can I do to help people that might be, overreacting in a situation? And I get, and, you witnessed your family member getting murdered. You're going to flip out. I'm talking, that's expected, right? You found out your partner cheated on you. You're going to flip out. I get that. It's still on us. How we respond, how we react, that's on us. But we can understand that. That's we get that. That's within, if you want to say, psychological norm of reactivity, right? But it isn't if, your partner tells you they don't feel loved by you and you throw stuff, start hitting, kicking them. No, hell no. That's unhealthy, and it's very unhealthy behavior. And that is part of, are you emotionally overreactive in your behaviors and your expressions, or is it all about how you feel and you get to act however you want because of the emotional selfishness? That's where we need to get help, and that's where we need to look in the mirror and to be able to say, hey, you know what? Oh, my God, the way I reacted was that. But a lot of people, they'll justify it and they'll never show remorse, or they'll show remorse at first. Giving you an example, oh, my God, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have hit you, but you did make me mad. You did piss me off. Huh? Didn't you just tell, right? How many people are in there that they understand what I'm talking about, that you have either done this yourself or you have been in relationships or experienced this behavior? And this goes with kids could have witnessed this, the same thing with parents, right? It's all about, you can't tell your parent how you feel because it'll flip them out. It's all about how you're supposed to make them feel. Again, that is not holding space in a safe way that your partner or whatever can talk to you about anything and everything, about how they feel. What happens if your partner, you know what, I think our sex life is a little lame. I would say, first of all, hey, I'd like our sex life to be more passionate, more exciting. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. How rude, it hurts, right? Excuse me. Instead of, let me take a drink of water. My apology, thank you. So instead of, man, oh yeah, what's your ideas? How can we kick it up? What are you thinking? You get me? How we react to stuff, what do we do to learn from it and learn from one another instead of being overly reactive? And it turning into, now it's all about me and how I feel and how you just made me feel. That is my definition of being emotionally selfish, okay? And you're going to have people in this field, I tell people, I'm very critical of people in the field that will blow smoke up their clients' butts. I'm going to be honest, okay? They'll tell their clients whatever their clients want to hear just so they keep coming back so they can bill their insurance, get paid to see them, but it does not help them. So if you are listening and you are one of those professionals, you need to stop, okay? That's not helping your client. It might be helping you. Oh, my client likes me. My client keeps coming back, but you're not serving them. You're not healing a purpose. You're telling them what they want to hear, and that is not helping them heal and grow the reason they're seeing you. You can do so in a compassionate way. In an empathetic way, you can do that. But if you are only telling your clients what you want to hear, what they want to hear, oh, I get why you were upset. I get why you were so mad and all this. And you just, like you're justifying to them that they're okay with how they act and how they behave. Maybe you need to, recheck how you handle things, or maybe you need to recheck you being in the field. Plain and simple, okay? So, again, check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. I do have courses, $30 off. They're $47 now. Healing After an Affair, Reigniting Your Relationship, and Premarital course as well. Each $47. They're cheap. They got hours of videos, literally hours of videos, assignments, exercises, tips that you can use and implement right from the jump, right from day one you start the course, okay? They're self-paced, no big deal, no pressure. You're not going to be graded. It's all about helping you, okay? And I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Please follow me at LoveGuruGreg. You can check out, the easiest way, check out all past episodes of the Art of Relationships show. is probably on YouTube at LoveGuruGreg. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Woohoo! Everybody have a great rest of Wednesday, and I hope everybody is doing